What's up everyone, I'm your teen librarian Gina, and I'm about to count down the top 5 new series books you should be checking out. Each book on this list is part of a series. That means you might need to do a little extra reading to catch up, or just accept being a bit lost. Which is actually the reason Wikipedia exists. Also keep in mind that if this isn't the last book in the series, you're probably looking at some form of an open ending.
Number 5.
The Avant-Garde's Down to the Wire by Carly Usdin, illustrated by Noah Hayes. Carly Usdin is the creator and writer of the Avant-Gardes, as well as the acclaimed graphic novel series Heavy Vinyl. Her partner for this series is Noah Hayes, also known for his work in the Goldie Vaughn's mystery series. Down to the Wire is the third and final volume in the Avant-Gardes series, which follows the Georgia O'Keeffe College of Arts and Subtle Dramatic girls basketball team as they lead the charge to build and sustain a league in which they can play. The climax and conclusion of this amazing story answers all of your burning questions. Will the Avant-Gardes win the championship? Can the league survive past its first year? Are Liv and Charlie an OTP, or will real life and anxiety get in the way of their relationship? Wait, are you actually waiting for me to tell you the answer? No, go read the book! If you enjoy found family stories like The Lumberjanes, or graphic novels like Check Please that focus on players in and outside of their sports, The Avant-Gardes is sure to score.
Number 4.
The Left-Handed Booksellers of London by Garth Nix. They say don't judge a book by its cover. And I didn't. I judged it by its title. Seriously, how can anyone not want to read this book? And the teaser, Authorized to Kill and Sell Books. Who wouldn't want that job? Not that I'd ever actually sell books. Nix is well known for his high fantasy Aberson series, and less known for his very confusing, judging by the summaries, possibly modern, possibly realistic, probably fantasy series, Keys to the Kingdom. In The Left-Handed Booksellers of London, Nix is taking readers to a slightly alternate 1983 England, where the old world of magic is mixing with the new. Susan Arkshaw is looking for the father she's never met, and Merlin is an outrageously attractive young left-handed bookseller. One of the fighting ones. The intellectuals are right-handed. Susan's search begins with her mother's possibly misremembered, possibly misspelled surname, a reading room ticket, and a cigarette case engraved with something that might be a coat of arms. I can honestly say that I have no idea what's happening, but I'm highly entertained. If you enjoy fantasy novels like Diana Wynne Jones' Howl's Moving Castle, the book, not the movie, or family mysteries warping into fantastical worlds like Splintered by A.G. Howard, this is definitely one to figure out.
Number 3.
Rebel Sisters by Tochi Onyebuchi is the sequel to his amazing novel War Girls, a sci-fi dystopian set in a distant future where the lucky portion of the population now lives on space colonies after climate change and nuclear fallout made Earth practically uninhabitable. Sisters by choice, Onye and Ife, live in a war-torn Nigeria where battles are fought using flying mecha and bionic limbs. Rebel Sisters picks up 5 years after the end of War Girls, with Ife fulfilling her dream as a highly ranked medical officer aboard one of the space colonies. Meanwhile, aid workers in Nigeria are doing their best to create an archive of the war, even as the government attempts to erase it from memory. The two stories collide when a mysterious virus breaks out among the children on Ife's colony, and finding answers forces her to return to the homeland she left behind. Neither of the books in this duology are light reading. Onyebuchi challenges his readers to consider what our pasts mean for our futures, both as individuals and as communities. In Rebel Sisters, he also looks beyond the battle into what comes next. How do we recover, move forward, and rebuild following tragedy? I would definitely recommend this to fans of fantasy and science fiction inspired by history and cultures they may be unfamiliar with, such as Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, and the Binti Trilogy by Nerio Corafor.
Number 2.
In the Study with the Wrench by Diana Peterfreund. Does this sound familiar? Let me clue you in. I know that was bad, but I had to. This is the second book in Peterfreund's Clue mystery series, which follows the 6 students of Blackbrook Academy who make up the newly dubbed Murder Crew. A group of unlikely friends, maybe allies is the better word, as they solve staff murders while attempting to keep their own secrets hidden and overcome their reputations. What I'm most excited about this series is that it seems a bit more realistic than most YA mysteries, even just going off the summary for the second book. After the headmaster was murdered in book 1, half the student body chose not to return to campus, and those that did were wary rather than celebratory of the murder crew. Both things actually make sense and indicate a lack of unrealistic plot devices used solely to force the characters into being the only ones that can solve the mystery, which I always appreciate. That being said, online reviews compare the series very favorably to the movie, so expect plenty of wacky hijinks and cheesy 80s nostalgia. Fans of mysteries where everyone has something to hide, like Pretty Little Liars by Lara Shepard, or the locked-in trope, where you're stuck with the murderer but don't know who it is, such as 10 by Gretchen McNeil, should absolutely get a clue.
Number 1.
Return of the Thief by Megan Whalen Turner. This is the 6th and final book in the award-winning The Queen's Thief series. A prophecy says the king will fall. Eugenides, now the High King of the Little Kingdoms, makes light of it, but his friends, the queens of Atolia and Edis, and the king of Sunis, know that they'll have to work together if they're going to keep the Thief King safe from his enemies, from his cousins, and from himself. There is a lot in this series. Based on Mediterranean history and mythology, The Queen's Thief is filled with political schemes, cunning characters, and just a touch of mythic detail. The books are written so they could technically stand alone, but I would highly recommend starting from the beginning with The Thief. If you're a fan of high fantasy novels full of intrigue, like Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass series, or Leigh Bardugo's Six of Crows, you'll love immersing yourself in the world of The Thief. That's our series showcase for this month. Let us know in the comments below if there's something you're particularly excited about or that you think we missed. Be sure to join us on Discord for programs and just to chat. And like, subscribe, ring the bell, do whatever you need to do to keep up to date on what's happening for you at your library.